Let me start with the hard truth. Most product roadmap don't fail because PM can't prioritize. They fail because they ignore reality. And the reality start with leadership goal, user complaint, support ticket, dashboard full of metrics, and engineering constraint. And suddenly we have asked to create a roadmap. The gap between chow and clarity. And that's the PM job. Today I'll show you how real roadmaps are built step by step. Before we jump into the process, let me show you the end state. This roadmap isn't a feature list. It's a sequence of initiative tied to the outcome, backed with the learning, and ordered with the dependency. That's why something now, some are next, and others are later. Now let's rewind and see how we actually get there. Real roadmap process. Here's the flow we will follow. Vision, strategy, OKRs. To problem, to opportunity, to experiment, to roadmap. Every step remove ambiguity. Every step remove risk. Step 1. Who we are building for. This is where strategy and vision matters. We can't build for everyone. So we deliberately choose our target user, busy urban professional, who shop weekly and value speed over price. And by choosing them, we also said no to occasional shopper, deal hunter, and edge cases. That's not the exclusion. That's the strategy. Now we translate that strategy into OKRs by asking one question. What must be changed this quarter for this user? Objective. Improve the repeat purchase experience for speed focused user. And here the key results. Conversion up by 3%. Card abandonment down by 15%. Support ticket down by 13%. Here's the key result we are defined to measure objective success. I have already covered how to define vision strategy OKRs from the scratch in separate video. You will find link in the description. Define the problem theme. Alright, now we need to step into the messy reality. And this is where we start making all of the signal we have got. First thing first, we don't rely on opinions. We gather signal from everywhere. Funnel metrics, top off, user interviews, support tickets, ops and engineering pain points. Basically, we are listening what user actually saying. Things like, hey, checkout's taking too long, or I had to retry my payment, or when exactly my order will arrive. We are just pulling all those raw signal before making any solution. Once we have collected all the signal, but everything is still messy. You will see complaint, metrics, emotion all mixed together. At this point, it feels like everything is broken, but that's a normal. Now, job is not to fix everything yet, but the job is to make sense of the chow. So we start grouping similar problem together. For example, lot of issues are actually about checkout friction. Too many steps, retry address, payment retries, and payment details. Another set of problem is about delivery uncertainty. User don't know where is their order. ETA feel unreliable and there are no proactive updates. And then the third pattern around the support dependency. Users contacting support just to get simple information. Slow response. Same question coming up again and again. What we are doing here simple but powerful. We are moving individual complaints to a stable problem theme. Because roadmap are not built on an isolated issue. They are built on pattern that repeat at scale. One more thing before we move on. While clustering problem, we also notice another thing coming up. Pricing and deal. Users saying like pricing is too high. Competitor have a better deal. Why don't you have loyalty points? These are real signal and they matters. Before we move into opportunities, we pause. Not because every problem we found belongs to this roadmap. This is where OKRs guide us. Our goal for this quarter is to improve repeat purchase experience for speed focused user. So problem around checkout friction, delivery uncertainty, and support dependency are in scope. Pricing and deals are real problem, but they mainly affect acquisition and order volume, not support and speed right now. So we make a clear call, not this quarter. We are not ignoring pricing. We are just parking it for later. How PM think about possible solution? This is not about picking a solution. At this stage, PM deliberately think broadly. The goal is to explore all possible ways the problem could be solved without judging, without prioritizing or committing. For example, we see checkout drop off and we asked, could the issue be too many steps? Retrying address and payment detail every time, payment failure, slow page loads, user hesitate at the final stage. Notice the mindset here. We are not saying which one is correct. We are saying all are possible explanation. From possibilities to assumptions. Now comes the shift in PM thinking. Every possible solution hide an assumption. If we say let's reduce checkout step, we are assuming steps are the problem. If we say let's fix the payment error, we are assuming failure occurs abandonment. If we say let's save user preference, we are assuming repeated data entry is the friction. So before building anything, we ask one critical question. Which assumption hurt us most if it is wrong? Finding the riskiest assumption. To answer that, we don't debate, we validate, we look at the data, funnel drop off, support ticket, session recording, engineering insight. And what we discover is clear. Most drop off happens during address and payment retry. Error do happen but far less frequently. This show us where real risk is, not where opinions are loud, but where user behavior actually breaks. Once we are clear on riskiest assumption, we make it explicit. Our belief is if we save address and payment preference for repeat user, checkout completion time should be reduced by 25%. Card abandonment should be dropped by 10% because repeated data entry is the main source of the friction. These numbers are not promises, but they are target that tell us whether the change is meaningful. So instead of building feature, we design a smallest possible experiment. For example, we design a Figma prototype with the autofill address and payment detail and tested with a small set of users. The task was the simple place an order and we observed time to complete checkout, drop off point, and visible hesitations. Because if behavior doesn't change here, it won't change in production. After the experiment, we ask, did it move the metrics enough to matter? Did it reduce uncertainty? What did we learn? If you got a strong signal, move forward. If you got a partial signal, then reiterate. If you got a weak signal, then test the next experiment or next risk. Experiment don't decide the roadmap, but learning does. After experiment, we move to prioritization. First, we apply RISE to compare initiative by reach, impact, confidence, and effort. Based on RISE framework, something like one click checkout is on the top priorities because it's high on impact. But RISE doesn't tell us what needs to come first. That's where sequencing comes in. We ask one question: what must exist before something else works well? So we move save preferences first because one click checkout can't perform and deliver value without it. Similar, we fix the scan pipeline before launching ETA notification because ETA only works if tracking data is reliable. After sequencing, the roadmap change, not in ideas but in order. Rise help us rank ideas. Sequencing ensure they are actually work. Now we translate priorities into a clear roadmap. We split initiative into now, next, and later. Now includes all the fundamentals that unblock everything else, such as save preference and scan pipeline. Next include initiative that build on dot fundamentals, like ETA notification and FAQ bot. Later includes the high level but dependent work, such as one click checkout. This makes expectation clear for leadership, engineering, and stakeholder. Everyone knows what we are doing now, what coming next, and what intentionally deferred. Our roadmap isn't just priority, it's about commitment and clarity. In the next part, we will break this roadmap down further into backlog, epic, and user story. This is where strategy turned into execution. If you want to see this done practically with a real world scenario, follow PM Sync, where we break down real products the way PM actually works. Our roadmap isn't just priority, it's about commitment and clarity. This is how a roadmap moves from an idea to outcome with focus, sequencing, and intent.